Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Marjana and this is episode 2 of me trying to save my March reading, which means I'm trying to get at least one book that's 4 or 4.5 star read. I have been having a particularly hard reading month in March. It hasn't been going my way, so I'm hoping romantasy books will save it. So I have a bunch of books written on here. This is episode 2. I already filmed episode 1, which you can find on my channel, and we're just kicking it off with the rest of the books I have on the list here. I will try to read 3 books from this list, and then there will also probably be an episode 3 as well. I don't know which books exactly I'm going to tackle. The only ones that I know is that I already started The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a paranormal fantasy book set in a world of vampires, and we follow our main character, who is a human being, and she was brought up by a vampire lord and trained to compete in these trials, and if she wins, she will basically have one wish granted, which could be literally anything she wants. I'm 180 pages into this, so around 31% done. I don't mind it, I just want more romance. But I need to finish this by the end of March, and it's currently March 18, so I'm hoping to finish it in 3 days time, let's say. Today I read 180 pages. I will want to read more, but it has almost 600 pages, so it's gonna take me a little bit, but I think 3 days time, depending how much time I have, is pretty doable. Then I also have Cruel is the Light, but this one is gonna take me forever because I know that it's gonna be just a long time, because this was a previous DNF. 105 pages into it, and it's not looking good. I don't want to unhaul it because it's beautiful, and I haven't even got into the romance part, so I might unhaul it in the future, but I want to give it a try, maybe in this video or in episode 3. And definitely for this video I need to read Onyx Storm. I need to finish this because I don't want to move it over to April because I already have so many books to read in April. So I've already started it, actually. I'm a chapter or 2 in it, and so I want to finish this, but my problem is I'm afraid that it's gonna put me in a reading slump. I don't want it to put me in a reading slump, but I also want a good book for March. And then in April, I'm also reading A Crown of Oaths and Curses and One Dark Window. So this might be in episode 3 or might be in this episode. We shall see. I will check in when I have more to say, because right now this book, it has started. It's quite interesting, but nothing that would like really grip me and say, oh my god, this is my new favorite book, you know. I'm 367 pages away from this book, about 200 pages away from finishing it. And I will say this, the first, let's say, I wouldn't say 300, the first 250 pages, I didn't really particularly enjoy this book. Yes, it's interesting, like you have this contest and basically like trials in Powerless. It's like a contest where vampires and I think one human fight to the death, and they have to ally with each other, and in the end they know they're gonna have to kill each other anyway because only one can win in this dedicated contest to their goddess Nyaxia. And at the end of the contest, whoever wins gets one wish fulfilled. Our main character is human, and she gets adopted by this vampire king who won this contest previously, and he is the new king by killing the previous kings and taking over their territory. And while taking over their territory, the girl gets put into his life, and so he adopts her, he teaches her everything, trains her, and she's always surrounded by vampires, so she's so sick of being always helpless, and she decides that she's gonna, you know, join this contest, whatever, which is what I think he was planning anyway, this king, and she wants the goddess to turn her into a vampire and like make her powerful, and I think the king will be profiting off of that because she's very powerful and she's under his influence. Well, she looks at him like he's her dad. He's her father, he clearly cares about her, she cares about him. But then her ally is also her enemy, or the king's enemy, because he comes from the people whose throne the king took over, and they want to be on the throne again or something like that. So yeah, she cannot trust anyone, honestly, but she allies with this guy and another girl, and then they're thrown into this contest, and she kind of gets attached to this guy, obviously, and I think there's more to this guy. I'm not gonna spoil, but I think it's predictable, because we get hints and pieces in here, and 250 pages into it, did not really get attached to this book, but now that I'm 300 something, I find it more enjoyable, and I don't want to put it down. I wouldn't say this is currently like a 4 or 5 star read, but it's definitely something where I am enjoying the world enough that I would want to continue. She also has this element of magic where she can wield magic, but she was never really trained because it was always just hints and pieces, like just tiny bits of magic. But once she enters this contest, the magic starts to rush out of her when she wants it to. Like, she can wield a lot more than she was used to. Honestly, the pacing is not too bad. The world is fine. It reminds me too much of urban fantasy, even though it's a fantasy. I'm 450 pages into this book, so about 110 pages away from the ending. And I just want to say, this book actually gets better the more you read it, because at first I didn't really like the main character, but now I actually appreciate the character development as the trials go on. Once the illusion of who she is supposed to be falls away and she accepts who she actually is and stops hating herself for it, that she's human, that she's this like human girl, I actually really appreciate her, and I appreciate her character development as opposed to at the beginning when you could feel her self-hatred. And I couldn't put my finger on it before, but that's what I didn't like. I didn't like how she was so full of self-hatred. But now that she's come to terms with it, I actually really appreciate it. And I think this book series does have potential. I think the beginning is just the beginning, actually. Like, the first book is just the beginning. And normally I wouldn't be looking forward to that if the first book isn't that wow. I finally finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I would say this is one of the books that definitely gets better the more you read it and go through and get to the ending. But overall, I think because again, I read a lot of romantasy books, just fantasy books in general, I would say that the ending is predictable, but I enjoyed where it went. I am definitely looking forward to where the next book is gonna go, because like I said, there's a lot of potential, and I definitely think that the second book, while this was predictable, the second book can take us into so many places, so many twists and turns. It has a lot of potential. I think I would rate it 3.75 stars just because it's not a 4-star read. Even 3.5 feels right, but I will, just because I appreciate the character development, I will rate it 3.75. So because it's the end of March, I will have to finish Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros just to finish it off my DBR. I'm 3 chapters in, 25 pages into it, and so far I am not in the mood for it because I know that my mental health is not ready. Right off the bat, I will let you know that I am hesitant, and I will have to force myself to pick it up, which means that it might take away from my enjoyment. Guys, I got a delivery for the couch. My couch is finally here from IKEA, and I'm so excited. I can finally just sit down, enjoy, read. I have a place to read. That's all I've ever wanted. And then my bookshelves are over there, and I'm so excited. I'm currently reading Onyx Storm. If I read 50 pages per day, that will take me about 11 days to finish. And I am currently actually 70 pages into it, so I'm 75. So I made a bit of progress for tomorrow, so I have to read like 25 pages tomorrow, because we only have 11 days left until the end of March. So I'm really cutting it close. I need to read at least 50 pages per day. I will say that the beginning is so slow for me. Like, I've been trying to pick it up 3 times already, and it's so slow. Hopefully now that I'm a little bit more into the story, it's gonna pick up. But I'm missing Xaden and Violet's scenes. I'm just missing their scenes together. I'm so afraid that I'm not gonna like this book. I want it to be more romantasy and less plot. I'm just missing that. Iron Flame was very plot heavy. I just want more romantasy, because that's what made Fourth Wing so awesome. I tried to pick this up, and honestly, oh my god, I have so many problems. It is written from dual point of view, third person. It's a mess. The writing style is a mess. The book cover is beautiful. It's gorgeous. But the book itself is just a mess. I can't. I'm DNFing it. I love the cover. I will probably keep this book just because of the cover and have it as decoration. Also, if I show you this, like, it's gorgeous. And then look at this. It's absolutely stunning. If only the book wasn't such a mess. I'm putting this book back, and we're not reading it for this video. So Darius is right now reading The Boy I Love by William Hussey, and I have an update for Onyx Storm. So while he's reading, I'm gonna be really annoying and I'm gonna tell you about it. I don't have anything much to say other than the first 120 pages were so slow, and I kind of thought that I was gonna DNF it. Not DNF it, but I was just gonna read it very slowly, maybe like 20 pages per day. If I wanted to read it by the end of the month, I needed to read 50 pages. The first 120 pages were very bad, not bad, but just slow. There was nothing happening. And then suddenly, yesterday, it just clicked. I sped past those 120 pages, and then I binge read this entire thing. I finished it. I finished all 3 books. Now I have to wait for the next one. And honestly, like, I'm in my feels. I was telling Darius recently, like, we were just in the kitchen, and I was just telling him how depressed this book makes me, because now I have to wait also for a few years for the next one. Yeah, we were just in the kitchen. I was telling him about this book, how it makes me so depressed. Now it's done. I will have to wait a few years until the next one. And the only criticism I have is there's more. This one's more focused on the war, and I would have preferred more banter, more scenes with Zayden and Violet. It feels like the entire book they were just kept apart. But then now I can't imagine not reading it. I'm in my feels. So I hope it doesn't put me in a reading slump, but I guess we have to move on and save my April reading because it's almost April. Okay, so a few days ago I did pick up What Hunts Inside the Shadows. I'm 19 chapters in, 209 pages or 52%. And this book has been putting me in a reading slump. I had really high expectations after reading What Lies Beyond the Veil, but this book is just a disappointment, to be honest. Every time I pick it up, I'm so bored. I cannot follow. I don't care about the characters. I don't really like where it's going. Just in general, the world seems like such a mess. It's so much information dumping, and yeah, I don't really like it. So I'm going to DNF it. I'm gonna leave my bookmark in, so when I give the entire series to my sister, she'll know exactly where I left off. This is kind of like a tradition starting, and I'm gonna give this entire series to her. But April reading has not been going that well. It's 10th of April and I only read 2 books, whereas usually I would already read like 6 or 7. But I'm gonna continue with One Dark Window, which I already started. I am 4 chapters in, 38 pages. Let's see if BookTok is right and this is a good one, because so far I am definitely intrigued. This book has saved me today from not spiraling and going into a reading slump. I've had so many 3-star reads in March, it hurts my soul. Obviously I'm not looking for the new Fourth Wing, but I am looking for a book that is gonna at least provide some entertainment, and this one has potential already. Like, I have so many theories. I'm so excited. I have no idea where it's gonna go, or who the love interest is gonna be, or who the nightmare is, but we're getting hints here, we're getting hints there. The world is already really interesting. And see, I'm glowing when I talk about this book. Meanwhile, this one just made me so miserable. Yesterday I finished reading One Dark Window, and even though it's not on my TBR, for this month I had to pick up Two Twisted Crowns, because what was that? I rated it 5 stars, guys. It was so amazing, so unique. The writing was beautiful, the rhymes, the world building, the world was fascinating. Like, oh my god, the magic system, everything. I like the characters in this book, I like the pacing, but I really enjoyed the nightmare and our main character Elspeth, and I enjoyed the stakes, and oh my god, like the writing, the rhymes. I can't, like, how do you come up with something so good? I was blown away. I didn't expect to like it because the cover doesn't really look like, you know, the cover, I don't know, the cover doesn't say how good this book is. And TikTok was right, guys. TikTok was right. So I'm already 10% into this book, and oh my god, I love it. I love it. I have to go to work, but this book is about our main character named Elspeth, who, like I previously mentioned, survives a plague and then is left with a magic power. And her power is when she touches a card, she sucks in the card, whatever, or I think so. She manifests basically the card. So she one time touched a card called the Nightmare, and the Nightmare is now living inside her head. This monster is living inside her head. With power, there's also not responsibility, risk, I don't know, consequences. And her consequence is degeneration. So she's slowly losing her mind the more she uses the power. And so, oh my god, like just the world system with the cards and the way it's explained. At first I was a little bit, I don't really understand what's happening, but the more you get into it, into the world, there are all these cards, different magics, and whoever collects all 12 cards, because the cards come at a cost, right? The fact that humans have these cards, it comes at a cost. Like, there's this plague, degeneration, you know, there's no cure. So whoever collects 12 cards brings this mist down and people are cured, or whatever, there's a cure. So that's what they're trying to do. Our main character and this highwayman that she meets, and his group of people, I don't want to really spoil, they are trying to find the cure and get rid of the cards. I'm gonna continue, even though it was not planned, but I have to continue. Oh, and in case I forgot to mention, this was a 5-star read. Absolutely amazing. Hi, so editing me here. I know I'm wearing the same sweater in almost all my videos, but it's because I love it so much. This is one of my favorites. Anyway, I did end up finishing Two Twisted Crowns. It was very enjoyable. I think BookTok really did a good job recommending this duology if you want to read it. It's very intriguing. The world, the writing, everything is so beautiful. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It's beautiful. So I hope you enjoy. If it's something that it's not for you, then that's fine as well. But I did forget to check in. It was a 4.25 star. All right, guys, to save my April, I started reading A Crown of Oaths and Curses, and I started reading it 2 or 3 days ago, and I did not check in because I actually stayed up until 6 a.m. to read it, and then I went to sleep for 4 hours, and then I stayed up again to finish it. Oh my god, it was a 5-star read. I read it almost in one sitting. I should not have started it at 10 p.m. because it just took me so long. Like I could not put it down. I couldn't go to sleep. I stayed up until 6 a.m. Genuinely. Like it was when my flatmate was waking up, I was already I didn't even go to sleep. It was already bright outside. So it was a lovely experience. I feel like the first book, the Crown of Oaths and Curses, is so well written. It is about our main character. Oh my god, Rook. I'm reading it right now anyway on Kindle. Our main character Rook, in a world where there's a war between witches and fae, and she returns back to the kingdom where the witches are being hunted because the majority of the witches turned bad and are under this rule of this one guy who did not want to follow his fate. Basically, they have seers in this world, and when you turn 18 or something, some seers will read your fate, and if you don't follow your fate, bad things will happen. Like there was a full-on war in one of the other kingdoms, and these horrible creatures came down from the sky, and they just turned into like these horrible monsters. And so yeah, so that will happen if you break your fate, if you defy the fate. So yeah, this guy, he started a war, witches turned witches bad, and then witches and fae at war with each other. Now our main character, who's a witch, she finds out that her mate, that she has a mate. Her mate is a fae, and he's a prince, and he cannot get his throne until he marries her, but he hates her so much to the point where he becomes a bit annoying. I don't have the word. He's just stupid, okay, and irritating. But I did like him a bit in the book. I find that the main character Rook was so well written. I like how she handled every situation. I liked the storyline. I liked the pacing. I legit could not put it down. I really loved it. It's not really romantasy. There's not much spice. Actually, there's no spice in it. There's not even a kiss. But you cannot put it down. So I picked up the second book, which is The Throne of Honor and Blood, and the writing just went downhill so bad, so fast. So I am now on, let me tell you, because I'm still reading it. I've been working a lot this week, so I'm 70% into it. Half of the book feels like regurgitated information to the point where it's mostly tell and not show. We're being told, and we are given information that we already know. Like, we know that the prince's uncle is planning something bad, and then in the dialogue, we're supposed to like find out, oh, what do you think? Like the Rook asks him, what do you think he's planning? And he's just like, yeah, I have this suspicion he's planning something bad. We all know that. Just give us information, because don't include dialogue that does not fit the story, that does not benefit. Even the descriptions, it's not benefiting the story. I feel like this book could have done with a good editing session and lots of deleting. It could have been so much shorter already, because it's already just regurgitated information, and the male main character telling us how the female main character Rook looks like, and how he just, I don't know, he's just telling us a lot about her. Like he knows what she's thinking, like he knows who she is or what she is, when truth is he doesn't even listen to her half the time. And now suddenly he's all obsessed. In this book, he's really obsessed with her. Like he's like you know when you get werewolves and they're really possessive and stuff? That's how he's acting in this book. In the first one, no. But I think it's kind of part of the story, because I think it's intentional. Because in the first one, he was, the fates didn't allow him to be possessive, but now the second book is all about romantasy. But the problem is there's no romance, because there's too much descriptions, too much writing, too much everything, and not enough story progression. We're constantly stuck in the same place and nothing is happening. There's no character growth. Wow, look at me being analytical. See, this is what happens when I'm actually really kind of invested, but also taking my time. And I'm reading on Kindle. So it's been a while since I read on Kindle. I've kind of broke my screen, and also my battery is kind of like wonky, but I've been reading on Kindle. I prefer to read on Kindle as opposed to physical or audiobook. Right now, this second book sits at a 3-star rating. I would say I saved my April TBR. I've had a lot of 5-star reads this month. I mean, not a lot. I've had a lot of good reads this month. I am gonna continue reading with this one, and I think this is gonna be my last book for this video because it's almost May. I think I will try to save my May reading as well because, well, actually I have to film my May TBR, but I'm gonna try to save my May reading because I still have books on the list that I want to scratch off the list. I don't know, these are just romantasy books that I will not read if I don't prioritize them, and then I will lose interest. And it's really sad because if I didn't film this video, I wouldn't read One Dark Window, I wouldn't read The Crown of Oaths and Curses, I wouldn't read so many books that I've been looking forward to. Because for some reason, I am always like prioritizing other books than what I'm actually in the mood for. And I like to make TBRs because with TBRs I actually read, like I stick to a reading plan. But it sucks because oftentimes they're not mood TBRs. So maybe I should stop following prompts and I should just start making mood TBRs. I don't know. I'm not at that point yet. Because right now I like variety. I like reading some horror, reading some this, some of that. So we will see. But it's sad that I have to make videos like this so that I can prioritize what I like reading, but also it makes a fun experience, I think, for you guys to have like a themed reading. Okay, it's been approximately 2 weeks since I last checked in, and I am severely losing interest in The Throne of Honor and Blood because I'm 67% in and the entire story is so drawn out. There is no romance. It's very plot heavy, but the plot, it's so badly written. I am missing book 1. This book could have been at least 200 pages shorter. I'm just telling you that. There's so much repeating information. So yeah, we are in May now. So much for saving my April reading, my May reading. No, this is just one episode taking you through all of through 2 months of reading because these books, some of these books, no, this book specifically is taking me so long to read. So yeah, I am so close to DNFing it, but also I am this close to finishing it as well. I guess I will give it a try today and see how far I come, and if I want to DNF it, I will let you know. This was not what I expected. I am so disappointed. The fact that I wasted so much of my time, yeah, I can't do it anymore. I'm calling it quits. I can't believe that the 2 books that I spent my time on this month have been DNFs, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books to go. And it's the 16th of May. I am disappointed, but I can't. Honestly, I can't do it. I wanted to love this book. The first one had the potential of being my all-time favorite like book series with Fourth Wing and Akamath if the second book delivered, but this is just not good. Even like the writing is so bad. It needs so much editing. So I'm calling it quits, and I think this is where I leave you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did not save my May reading. I did not save I mean, April reading was good. I think I will film episode 3 starting from June onwards because I want to save my June reading by reading these romantasy books. Send help. Don't get me wrong, I do have a full list of books that I want to read. I keep on adding things, honestly. Ruthless Vows, Moon Hatched, whatever that one is, When the Moon Hatched or something, Reckless, Powerless number 2, because you know when I was reading Powerless it was a blast. No, honestly, I'm doing it for shits and giggles. I need to read Spark of the Everflame, Guild, Phantasma. These are just on my TBR for now, and maybe in the future I will read more. What a month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Follow me on Instagram if you want to hear my bookish thoughts. Okay, bye!